Come on. Alright, there we go. Something very stupid that I did when I first started going to the gym was that I tried to optimize every single little tiny detail about my training before I even started going to the gym. I felt like I didn't want to start actually training until I felt like I knew absolutely everything that I needed to know to be able to train as effectively as possible and get the best possible results. And so I wanted to build the perfect workout program, and I wanted to know the perfect frequency and the perfect volume and the best exercises and all this shit. And I probably spent close to like 3-4 months trying to find out all of this stuff before I'd even set my foot in a gym, which is crazy. But after all the research and all the searching for the perfect workout program and the best exercise and and all this stuff, I had just been given so much contradicting information all the time that I just gave up and I just went to the gym and started training. I downloaded some like already made push-pull leg split from some YouTube video or whatever, and I just did that. And because I just started training, I made gains doing it, because the beginner gains, you make gains doing basically anything. But what I realized while actually starting to go to the gym was that all of the stuff that I've been looking for, the perfect frequency and the perfect volume and the perfect exercises for me and all this stuff, the only way I ever found that out was by actually going to the gym. And in retrospect, when I look back at it, it's so stupid. Like, it's such a stupid thought process, because I wanted to know everything, okay, before I even started training. I wanted to know the perfect volume and my perfect frequency and the best exercises that fit me the best and all this stuff. But if I would have just used my brain, I would have realized that the only way I can find out what the best exercises that I like the most for me are, and what the best frequency for me is, and what the best volume for me is, the only way I'd ever be able to find that out was by actually going to the gym and testing it. Because everything varies between individuals. So you can't just go onto some website or watch some YouTube video talking about what's the best volume and frequency, because it's all individual. It all varies on the individual. Some people have recovery ability that is just out of this world, and some people can only train once a week, or else they'll just make no progress. Or some people are even further down the spectrum where they can only train like once every other week. There's so many different variants of people. Like, it's the same thing. Like, there's people who are 7.5 feet tall, and there's people who are like dwarfs who are like 4.5 feet tall or 3.5 feet tall. Like, there's extremes on both ends of the spectrum. So some people can recover from so much exercise. Some people can train super hard, super often, and still be able to recover and adapt and build muscle in between the workouts. Some people can do barely anything at all and need a shit ton of rest before they can train again. And so the only way you'll ever be able to find out all of these things is by actually going to the gym and gaining experience and trying out and seeing for yourself what is the best frequency for you, what is the best volume for you, what is the best exercises that fit you the best. Now, of course, there are like general guidelines you can follow, there are averages, and some exercises are just in general usually better than others, because some exercises are designed in a way where they are ineffective or they are dangerous and pose a high risk of injury and all this stuff. But most of this stuff, like, exercise selection is mostly up to, preference actually, or mostly. But, volume and frequency, it's all individual. You can't find it on the internet. You have to try it out yourself. You find it out by keeping accurate records of your workouts to see if you are progressing or not. If you're training 3 times a week with a particular split and you're not making progress, and then you try, okay, let me try to decrease the frequency of my training. So I'll train, 2 times a week instead of 3 times a week, and you start making progress. Boom, there you know, okay, frequency was the problem. You need more rest in between workouts. Or maybe you try to decrease the volume of workouts, you decrease the number of exercises you do for each workout, and you notice, oh, I started making progress when I did that. Then you know that volume was the the volume was the problem. And so all of this is super individual. You can't find it on the internet. You have to try it out and find out for yourself. I just realized also, I just went completely off script. I just went on a huge rant. Like, I didn't follow the script at all. So I'm gonna try to get back to the script now. Okay, what did I write? Okay, so this is what I wrote. I'm gonna read it from the script. I think you see this a lot with people in general. They don't want to start doing something until they feel like they have complete information or all the information that they need. They don't want to start until they feel like they have all the steps laid out before them and just have this perfect plan that they can follow like a blueprint. But the problem with this is that it's a complete logical fallacy. Because the only way you'll ever get all the information you need, the only way you'll ever be able to get complete information is by actually doing the thing that you want to get good at and gaining experience in the thing itself. An example I like to use is performing a squat. If you have never performed a free weight squat or a free bar squat before, and you wanted to, start doing that exercise, and you wanted to do it with the best form possible, if you were to just pick up a book about how to do the free weight or the free bar squat correctly, and watch a bunch of video tutorials on how to do the free bar squat correctly, and read this entire book and memorize, all the form cues and shit, even though you did all that, the first time you did the squat, you would still suck. Your form would still be pretty bad. It might help a little bit, but it's nowhere near worth all the time you're spending to try to learn all this stuff beforehand, because you will learn way more by actually practicing doing the squat, doing the exercise, than you ever will watching tutorials on how to do it or reading a book about how to do it correctly. Now, of course, I'm not saying that watching tutorials on how to perform a exercise with correct form is not useful, but what I'm saying is it doesn't really matter how much you try to study beforehand, because when you first start doing something, your first time, you will still not be good at it. And so all the time you're spending trying to learn how to do something perfectly before you even started doing it, and you're trying to optimize everything before you even started, all this time you're spending doing that could be better spent just doing the thing and gaining experience in the thing itself, because you will learn way more that way than you will by just trying to learn everything beforehand and not trying to make any mistakes. Now, of course, we should all strive for having, perfect form in all of our exercises, and having, workout programs with exercises that are safe and that fit our preferences, and having volume and frequency that's tailored to the individual, that works for us, so we can make progress, not just because some YouTuber online said it. Some YouTuber said it. But these things can only be learned completely through experience, because you'll never learn how to play tennis by just watching videos of people playing tennis, or you'll never be able to become a great salesman by just reading the sales script or just watching other people take sales calls and trying to analyze what they do, because the first time you take your first sales call, you're still gonna mess it up probably. So what do you do instead of trying to, optimize everything and perfect everything before you even start? Well, you start now, or you start as soon as possible, and you just start with something really basic. You don't overthink it. So if you want to start training, if you want to start going to the gym, you haven't done it yet, and you are one of these people, which I was one of these people, not to make you feel bad. If you're one of these people who, want to optimize everything and don't want to make any mistakes and want to perfect everything and have all the knowledge before you feel that you are ready to start, don't do that. Start now, start with something really basic. I would recommend a full body routine. So just search up, full body routine when it comes to, the way I recommend training, which, sets and rep cadence and all this stuff. I have talked about that in other videos. I'm not going to cover that here because that would make this video twice as long. But just do in my opinion, full body, especially in the beginning, is your best bet. Full body routine is very simple. Do it, 1 to 2 times a week, probably. Not probably. Do it 1 to 2 times a week. That's what I would recommend. For some people who have really good recovery ability, might be able to do it 3 times a week, but never train 2 days in a row. Never train on consecutive days. You are not getting enough recovery in between workouts if you are training 2 days in a row. Almost no one who is natural is able to train 2 days in a row and recover and adapt in between workouts, given that they are training with adequate intensity. Even though this is a fitness channel, this video is more about your overall mindset than training in itself. But I wanted to make this video because this mindset of wanting to know everything before I started and wanting to optimize every single little tiny detail and make no mistakes before I started training was something that prevented me from starting to actually going to the gym for a very, very long time. And so I wanted to make this video in case there was anyone watching who also is in this situation that I was in, because I don't want anyone to waste as much time trying to perfect everything before they started like I did. Anyways, that's the video for today, guys. I hope you liked it. If you did find this video useful, don't forget to click don't forget to click the like button and press the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified the next time I upload. And with that being said, I'll see you boys in the next video next time. Peace.